I am the weight of authority, the order. My name is not to be said. I grew up with the belief that to dominate is to love. Each piece had its place, including her, my fiancée. A perfectly calculated jewel. Her role was simple, to shine by my side. But she had the look of one who desires chaos I ignored. Focused on my image, her fragility always disturbed me. A musician friend approached at an event. He seemed free, uninterested in power. My fiancée was staring at him. Her curiosity was treason, silent. I decided to watch him closely. I didn't see the threat in my own life. A girl who worked for me at 28. She was the antithesis of my fiancée, without jewels, but with a fire that attracted me. My secret, my escape from the false world. She didn't love me, just pretended to understand me. She warned me about the musician and the fiancé, with her cold voice. She revealed the note. The social proof of the event didn't work. The secret was exposed to me. I decided to take revenge, not with violence, but with punishment. I pursued them, monitoring every step. The idea that they would flee was unbearable. I needed to show that freedom doesn't exist. It was just my concession. During their escape, I waited for them with soldiers in place. The terror in her eyes was my prize, but the musician pushed me on an impulse. That act of courage enraged me. I ordered them to be taken to different prisons. Both should think the other had died. I asked my secretary to coordinate everything. The perfect plan began to fall apart. My engagement was ruined. Today, I needed a story to maintain power. I invented that my fiancée had died in an accident. The musician would be the accomplice to this tragedy. But my secretary said, "No one will believe it." She was my new voice of reason. I started to doubt everything she said. The god who released the musician was found dead. The key that freed him was an act of treason. I looked for the fiancée, but she disappeared. My doctor friend told me she was in a coma. My secretary lied. She was fine, and I started to wonder why. My spies gave me the answer I feared. The musician, that nobody had fled. He found her in the city and rescued her. My secretary trapped me in a web of lies. She wanted me to sink in my own poison. She became the main suspect in the murder. I felt humiliated, betrayed by my lover. The musician and the fiancé were fleeing. My secretary, my ally, used me. What did she want from all this? I didn't understand the reason, but I promised to find out. The hunt was no longer for honor. It was to unravel the truth behind everything. I mobilized all my power. I would find them and discover what they were, and what the musician's real interest was. The secretary knew something I didn't. I learned it in the mansion, in her own prison. "What do you know about my fiancée?" She smiled, a cold and empty smile. "You know nothing about her." I called her a traitor, but she laughed. "I was never yours. I am the social proof. I was just a pawn in her game. She used me for something much bigger. A reward, a dark secret. I took her hostage. I imprisoned her to interrogate her. She refused to confess. Her arrogance made me lose control. I left her there, chained in a secret room. I returned to my office for the search. I knew she wouldn't betray me, not with what I had. I no longer had the fiancé. The secretary, I no longer had control. The military man, the man with power, was lost. The hunt was no longer for honor, but for me, I didn't care about the betrayal. But the truth, I would discover it, by finding them. Each day I sank deeper into hell. I was close to recovering what was mine, until one of my men brought me news. The musician and the fiancé had crossed the border. They fled, but I was sure they would return. She couldn't live without power. The musician, he wasn't so innocent after all. My prisoner still hadn't confessed. I had everything, but I had nothing. My life was a lie made of secrets. And the biggest one I was about to discover. A new clue. A broken pattern. The name of a man that haunts me. It was the same name as my father. He was alive. My secretary laughed when she heard the name. He is dead, she said. He taught me everything I know. I didn't understand, but fear consumed me. The man I hated the most, who abandoned me, he was alive, and his lover had a secret. The musician and the fiancée didn't know. I was the target, right? They were the means of revenge. The clock was ticking. My life was in danger, and what I knew was not enough to save me. I was no longer the hunter, but the prey. My father was behind all this. Why hadn't he killed me before? His revenge was crueler. He wanted me to sink in my fear. The musician and the fiancée, they were his bait. I turned to my prisoner. She was my only way out. What do you want? I asked. She laughed and answered. I want you to feel. The door to the room opened. My father's shadow appeared. I wasn't alone. I was surrounded. The silence in the room was broken by his deep voice. You didn't think I had died, did you? My body froze, unable to process. The girl laughed again. A laugh that resonated like funeral bells. Father and daughter. She said, It's a reunion. Don't call her your daughter. I screamed. But she is my son. Don't you remember Alice? Her name, Alice. My secretary. My father's daughter. It wasn't possible. She's your younger sister. He continued to smile, and she manipulated him perfectly. I felt stupid, blinded by my arrogance. Alice didn't want the fiancé dead. She wanted the fiancé to flee. She wanted me to get lost in the hunt. What do you want from me? I whispered. The truth, he said. I always wanted to know how you became a monster like me. He walked up to me, his eyes burning. That room was my hell. My secretary, my sister betrayed me. My father, who I thought was dead, was back. And my fiancée, the pawn I played, was actually a reward, a salvation. I always loved your fiancée, Alice said. She is a part of me, a proof that our family is not just power and blood. The fiancée, what did she know? Your fiancée is the daughter of a great family, my father said, a family that I knew and despised. The ground opened up beneath my feet. It wasn't just a betrayal. It was a plot, a family war, and I was in the middle of it. And the musician, I asked, he is her love. The love you can't have. And the only thing that saved me, Alice said. I didn't understand why he would save me. I was no longer the hunter, but the prey, and the truth was crueler than any lie. The military man, the man who always had everything, had only one thing to hold on to, his own mind, and the fiancée, my fiancée. She was a part of a family, and I a family that I never knew. And that haunted me forever. My whole life was a lie. They put me here, to destroy me, to humiliate me. My fiancé was a piece in their game. The musician, a reward? I don't understand. My father left me to become what I am. But he was there, watching my every step. He saved me. But why? He wanted to destroy me, but his daughter betrayed him. He used me, your fiancé, me and your other daughter. They were my salvation. The door to my office opened. I was alone again. I don't know if I should trust my sister. She used me. My father abandoned me. My fiancé. She fled. And the musician, he saved her. I am a pawn, a puppet. My power, my authority, everything was a lie. But I had the truth. A truth that would save me. They would return, and I would wait for them to fight, to save my fiancée, not to save myself. Night fell and I hid. I was alone, but not for long. I had to find a way to get revenge, a way to free myself, but I didn't know what to do. My life was a lie, and I had no one. I got lost in my thoughts. My head was spinning. I needed help. But who could I ask? My sister betrayed me. My father hates me. My fiancé cheated on me. And the musician, he was my enemy. I was alone, and danger was approaching. I had to do something. The morning light entered through the window. I stood up determined. I would fight. I would get revenge. But how? I had no one. I left my house and started walking on the street. People stared at me. They knew that I was a monster. I had nowhere to go. I had no one. I got lost in the crowd. And that's when I heard the musician. He was there, alone in a bar. I didn't know what to do. Kill him or ask for help. I approached him. He looked at me and fear was in his eyes. "What do you want?" he asked. I stared at him. "I want you to help me," I said. He laughed. "You imprisoned me and now you want help." I sat down. "I know," I said, "but my fiancée is in danger." He looked at me, and confusion was in his eyes. "Is she with you?" I said. "No, she isn't," he said. He fled alone. I stood up, feeling the blood run cold. "Where is she?" I screamed. "I don't know," he said. "I lost her and I looked for her for days." "It's not possible," I said. "She betrayed me. She used me. Your father tricked me," he said. "He used your fiancé to trap you." I got lost in my thoughts. My sister, she was using me. My father hated me. My fiancée, she was in danger, and I was alone. To be continued in the next episode.